So good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. So sharing the screen here. Yes. So the first lecture was very basic lecture, and we have not done anything. I think I accept 2 or 3 definitions on. So in this lecture will start, you can say, the main definition that is related to the error analysis. Our first chapter, that is error analysis. So first we will discuss about rounding and chopping. Actually, we have already discussed about the floating point representation, that if we take exact value, suppose x is exact value, then obviously if you write this number into the either in calculator or computer, then you always will get an approximation of that number if that x contains an infinite sequence of the digits. Okay, so now you have two types of approximation by any number. That is, first is rounding and second one is chopping. So first of all, I take x, let x be any exact number, that is 0.a1, a2, a3, means I'm taking infinite sequence of the digits. This you all know, this is mantissa to the base 10 and e is exponent here. Okay, so this is our exact value. Now if I write FL of x, FL of x means if I'm writing this number into the finite sequence of the digits, then it will be 0.a1, a2. Finite digits I'm taking n digits only, so I'm taking an to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e. Okay, but now we have two ways to take these finite digits here. So either by rounding or chopping. So first of all, I am taking chopping here. Chopping, from the name you can say that it simply chop the digits after n digits. So by chopping after 10 digit. So it means here you have to take FL of x as 0.a1, a2, an to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e. So this is our exact value, and I have taken the approximation by chopping after n digits. Means simply I chop the digits after n digits. So I will not look into the next number, that but it is. So I will simply chop the digits up to n decimal places. Okay. So now by rounding after n digits. Actually, in rounding, what will you do? In rounding, there are two cases. If an plus 1, because our writing will depends on the next number here. So if it lies between 0 to 5, then you take simply n digits only, n decimals only, 0.a1, a2 up to an to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e. And second one is if our an plus 1 is less than equal to 5, greater than equal to 5 or less than equal to 9, then it will be 0.a1, a2 up to an. Then you add 1 to this number, 1 to the 10 into 10 raised to power e. So that is a rounding. In other words, also you can write it 0.a1, a2, an, that is same as chopping. If it is, yes, yes, yes.
मैम एक बार ये बताओ इसकी रेंज 0 to 5 और 5 to 9 कैसे आई है?
Because every number, if this is a full number and these are digits, AIs are digits, na, and this is full number. So if you take any number that will be digits, can occur in up to 0 to 9, na, means every number, if you are taking any digit here, so it lies between 0 to 9 here. So
मतलब
here, yes,
जितनी भी कॉम्बिनेशन है डिजिट्स की वो 0 to 9 के बीच ही हो
0 to
सकती
9 के बीच में हो सकती हैं. Yes, yes. So it that is a digits actually. It is not a number. This X is a full number, but that is a digit only. So that is a combination between of 0 to 9 only. So
है.
I
And
is equal to, yes.
by 5 कैसे?
By
मैम
5
लाइक
means
मैम लाइक वो फंक्शन 5 पे क्यों ब्रेक हुआ?
यस मैम.
actually that is a case of 50%. Suppose I take 50%, means if I'm saying that it is like, if I divide something into 50, then it will be okay. Okay, but if it is 51%, then it we will take beyond, means if I'm taking two parts, suppose there are two parts. So first one is 49% and this is 51%. So obviously that is a bigger than that. If it is a 1% greater, but obviously it will be the greater than this number. So so we divide the number into 50-50. So if I take this number, suppose I am taking 0 um, 1 2 3 5 6, then 5 2, suppose I'm taking this number. So now if it is already 6, if it is already 6, so obviously it is greater than 5, means it is greater than 50% something. So I will add, means if I want to do rounding, if I want to stop the digits up to this number, up to this digit only, so then I will look into this number. If it is less than 50%, 50% means 40, in lines of 40, then I will take as it is only. And if it is greater than 50%, then I will add this, means it will be not 56, it will be 57. So it is like that. Means if I want to give, suppose I want to give 1.5 rupees, then it will be okay if I have 50 paise. Okay, but if I have to give you 65 paise, obviously I will give you 2 rupees, means I will approximate it in 1 into 2, so then I will give it to 2 rupees. But if I have to take 1.4, suppose I have to take 1.4 from you, 1.4 rupees from you, then I will take, okay, no problem, you can give me 1 rupee. So that is approximately 50-50 chances. Means if it is obviously less than 50, then I can ignore that term. If it is greater than 50, obviously I will round it up of the next number, means I will add 1 to that number. So that is because we have divided into the 5. So here you can see, if I write this number, n plus 1 less than equal to 9, then it will be 0.A1, A2. You can write this way also, 0.0000 and 1. So this is your nth place into 10 raised to power e. Okay. So now again you can see I actually have added 5 here, 5 in this case only, but there is a actually it is not a proper definition actually. If an plus 1 is equal to 5, there is another definition, but I include this definition into means 5 into this. But if you actually see this, it is like, if an plus 1 is equal to 5, then again you have another case 1. If 5 is followed by non-zero digit, so again it is like, means 0.A1, A2, an, and this number is 5, and again you have a non-zero number, you can write 1 2 3. I mean, it is, if it is not 0, okay, so 51 52 if you have, then what you do, sorry, to the base 10 into 10 raised to power e, then our FL of x will be, so obviously you will add 1 to the an plus 1. And in case 2, if 5 is followed by 0, means if it is like 0.a1 a2 an 5, then it is 0, then an plus 2 can be any number.
मैम
Yes,
मैम एक बार ये an + 1 = 5 जहाँ लिखा है आपने वहां से
हाँ।
है ना?
देखो, actually if it is actually its proper definition is, if I write strictly less than here, means 5 strictly less than an plus 1 less than equal to 9, so that is a definition of FL of x by rounding. And there is another case if an plus 1 is equal to 5, but for the simplicity we include this an plus 1 is equal to 5 in this case only, but it's a proper definition. If you see in any books, you can see this definition also. If n plus 1 is equal to 5, then if 5 is, means that an plus 1 again followed by any non-zero digits, means an plus 2 if it is non-zero, means if this number is non-zero, an plus 2, n plus 2 is non-zero number, so it is like 51 हो सकता है, 52 हो सकता है, 59 तक कोई भी नंबर हो सकता है. So you will add 1 to this number, means कैसे approximate करोगे, an plus 1. And if 5 is followed by 0, so if it is 50, then there is a 50-50 chances actually. Then what you do, FL of x, it will be 0.a1 up to an, that will be same when an is even. Then you will look into the an number here. If an is even, then you write as it is, but you add 1 to the number, add 1 to this number if it is odd, if an is odd. So this is the approximation. So you can follow this rule also, or you can simply write, if an plus 1 is greater than equal to 5, you will simply add 1 to that number, because in most of the cases we are adding 1 to the number if it is equal to 5. So this is the case. Okay.
That means in case 1 we do not add anything, if an plus 1 equal to 5, then the same format is printed on this.
Which one? Where? Hello.
मैम जैसे इसमें an plus 1 equal to 5 है, तो मैम जैसे
हाँ.
नॉन जीरो डिजिट्स हैं, तो हम पहले वाला सारा प्रिंट कर देंगे ना, मतलब जो भी साइंटिफिक नोटेशन में करेंगे, a to an plus 1 multiplied by 10 raised to power e.
हाँ, an में 1 ऐड हो जाएगा ना, इसमें 1 ऐड हो रहा है.
Okay मैम.
Here also you will add 1 if an is odd and 5 is followed by 0, and but here you will take as it is. But there is one case, if an plus 1 is equal to 5 and 5 is followed by 0 and an is even also, then you will take as it is. Otherwise you have to add 1 to the number an. Okay, so this is the definition of rounding and chopping. So next we define absolute error and relative error. That obviously if you are talking about the exact and approximation, you will find out the errors also. So absolute error, you all know that if I write x as an exact function, exact number, and FL of x as a approximation of x, then AE will be x minus FL of x. So don't forget to put mode here. You always put students always keep bracket here. They don't know the value of mode here. So you should put mode here, x minus FL of x. Sorry, This is the only absolute error, and relative error is mod x minus FL of x, means absolute error divided by the actual value mod x. So this is same as absolute error divided by mod x. So these two definition you have to remember, you should remember. So next we have one example that compute the absolute error and relative error in the approximation of √2 by 1.4. Yes,
हम पीछे जाएंगे.
yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So compute the absolute and relative error in the approximation of √2 by 1.41. Now you have to find out the absolute error and relative error of √2. √2 is an exact number. So I take x as a √2, that is exact number. Now FL of x, it is given that its approximation is 1.414. So it means absolute error is x minus FL of x. But how to find √2 value? That is the exact value. So what you do, if it is mentioned that you have to take the exact value as 5 decimal places or 6 decimal places, then it will be okay. But if it is not mentioned that you have to take the exact value by how many digits, then you write this √2 into the calculator, then it will show up to 11 or 12 digits. Then you have to write all the digits here. So now tell me what is √2? √2. So it is in my calculator, it is showing 1.4142135, sorry, 56237. So all the digits you have to take as a exact digits. Okay. So this is FL of x 1.41. So now you can find absolute error x minus FL of x. Means what I'm trying to say that if our approximation is up to 3 decimal places, they have taken 3 digits, sorry, 4 digits here, then you have to take exact value as not 4 digits, greater than 4 digits, obviously. Otherwise it will be error will be 0. So you have to take if it's approximation, your approximation is in 4 digits, then you have to take at least 6 digits, means plus 2 you have to take. So 6 digits you have to take at least. But it will be easy if you take all the digits with that your calculator is showing, because it is not mentioned here in the question. So you take all the digits here. So now subtract these two. So it will be 0.0021356237. So it will be, and relative error, so it will be absolute error divided by √2. So you divide this number by this number, then you will get the relative error also. So next question, find the largest interval in which FL of x, yes,
First question paper.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So now in the second question, find the largest interval. You have to find the interval in which FL of x. So FL of x is the approximation of x here, must lie to approximate pi with relative error at most 10⁻⁻⁵ for each value of x. So it means your exact value is pi. So again, if you write pi into the calculator, you take all the digits of pi. Means if I write pi, then what it is? If I write pi here, it is 3.14159265359. Okay, so now FL of x. I don't know what is FL of x. So, but you have to find the interval in which FL of x must lie to approximate with the relative error at most 10⁻⁵. So it means it is given
Excuse me,
that,
ma'am.
yes.
मैम हमेशा मतलब जब भी हम x की वैल्यू लेंगे हमें ये कितने डेट से रखनी है?
देखो या तो मेंशन होगा क्वेश्चन में,
ये
या फिर जितने तुम्हारा कैलकुलेटर शो कर रहा है उतने ही वैल्यूज लिखनी पड़ेंगी। Relative error, it is given that relative error at most 10 raised to power -5 means relative error will not exceed by 10 raised to power -5. So relative error means x minus FL of x will not exceed by 10 raised to -5. So it means it is pi minus FL of x less than equal to 10 raised to -5. Sorry, it should be x. It should be pi. So now solve this. You can find the interval from FL of x from here. So if I multiply it both sides, so it will be FL of x less than equal to 10 raised to power -5 into pi. So now if I remove this modulus, then it will be minus pi into 10 raised to power -5 less than equal to pi minus FL of x less than equal to pi into 10 raised to power -5. So now if I subtract pi from three sides, it will be minus pi into 10 raised to power -5 less than equal to minus FL of x less than equal to minus pi plus pi into 10 raised to power -5. So it is pi into 10 raised to power -5. So if you subtract from here, it will not be minus 2 pi. So some students will do this actually, because minus pi, then if you subtract minus pi from it, it will become minus 2 pi. That is wrong, because pi is multiplied with 10 raised to power -5 here. So it will be minus pi and then minus pi into 10 raised to -1. And same with here also. So now if I multiply with -1, then the sign will change. And here also it will become positive. So pi plus pi into 10 raised to power -5. Sorry, sign will change to greater than equal to FL of x, then greater than equal to pi minus pi into 10 raised to power -5. So it will become FL of x will lie in between pi minus pi into 10 raised to power -5 and pi plus pi into 10 raised to power -5. So now you solve this by putting exact value of pi, then you will get the interval for the FL of x. So FL of x belongs to, so can you find pi means if I put this number 3.14 3.14159 265359 1 minus 10 raised to -5, and same is 3.141592653 into 1 plus 10 raised to -5. So here you will get one range here, that 3.1, then this number will change, and here this number will change. So if you take your FL of x between this interval, your relative error will not exceed by 10 raised to -5. So you solve it. Then you have to find the interval from here. Okay, so any doubt in this question? So in absolute error and relative error topic, two types of question can come. If first question that you had to find absolute error and relative error, but that is a very simple question. And the second type is this, means the relative error bound will be given to you and you have to find the interval for FL of x. So next we come to the maximum error bound. So now this is just a statement of the statement of the results. We are not going to prove this result actually. So here let x be any real number. We want to represent this number into the calculator or computer. Then FL of x, obviously you will get the approximation. So that will be the representation by rounding. So if you do by rounding with n digits of x, then your relative error will will not be exceed by 10 raised to power 1 minus n by 2. Means this will be the maximum error bound for f for by rounding n by 2. So if you are taking n digits, then your error will not exceed by 10 raised to power 1 minus n by 2. So this we are not going to prove it. And if you do by chopping, if you enter the number by chopping, then your relative error will not exceed by 10 raised to power 1 minus n. So from the maximum error bound, you can see the relative error bound is half of this range, half of this number. So obviously rounding is better than chopping. So if in any question it is not mentioned, then you have to approximate a number, then you always go with the rounding. Otherwise it will be mentioned that you have to do chopping or rounding. If it is not mentioned, you always go with the rounding only. Okay, so these are the results to show that rounding is better than chopping, nothing else. So next we come to another topic, that is significant figures. So significant figures, actually these are the digits that give the meaningful contribution to a number. So by proper definition, the significant figures of a number are those figures, are those digits, you can say, that carry meaning contributing to its precision. So for example, if I write, suppose I'm taking 3, 2, 4. So these are all significant digits. This is 324. So all the digits are carrying meaningful contribution to this number. Means 4 has its own importance to this number, giving and 20. This is the tens place. 3 is in the 100 place. So all are significant digits in this number. And if I write 2, 0, 0, so obviously this is 200. If I remove one of the 0, that its value will be obviously reduced. So it will be 20 only. So this 0 and this 0 giving this number a meaningful contribution. So all the digits are the significant digits. Yeah. But if I write 0, 0, 2, so its value is 2 if I remove 0, 0 even. So it means it contains only one significant digit. So that's meaning of significant digits. So actually there are some rules to decide the significant digits. First, all non-zero digits of a number are significant digits. Second, obviously like in 3 to 4, all are significant digits. So in second, zeros between non-zero numbers, non-zero digits, zeros between non-zero digits are significant. Like I write 1002. So 00. So these are zeros, but these are between non-zero number. So it contains 4 significant digits. So in third, leading zeros to the left of the first non-zero, that will be significant or not? Leading zeros to the left of first non-zero digit.
Not significant.
Yes, that will be not significant. Digits are not significant. Because if I write 0, 0, 0, 2, so these are not, because this is the first non-zero number and these are the zeros to the left of this first non-zero. These are not significant. So it contains one significant digit only. So fourth one is trailing zeros. that are also to the right of a decimal point in a number are significant digits. So it means if I write 15, suppose if I'm just write normal say 15, then it contains 2 significant digits. But if I take another representation of this number, because I can write this number as a 15.0 also. So that 0 will also be significant. So in that case, 3 significant digits. So similarly, if I write 15.00, then there will be 4 significant digits. So that will be significant. So these are some rules to write the significant digits here. So next is we do some examples here. First example, we take add the floating point numbers. So 0.4546 E3. Actually, this is another representation of any number. You can, it is similar to say 4546 into 10 raised to power 3. So sometimes in your computer, when you input this type of a number 10 raised to 3, it will show like this E3. So it is same. It is a mantissa to the base 10 raised to power 3 here. And you add the number 0.5433 E7. So it means it is 10 raised to power 7. So how to add these two numbers? There is no problem with mantissa. You can add mantissa, but here you can see your exponent is not same. So you have to make your exponent same to add two numbers. So either you make it 7 or you make it 3. So I'm writing this number in, I'm making this as a 7. So it will be 0.00. I have to take 4 zeros here. 4546 into 10 raised to power 7. And now writing 5433 into 10 raised to power 7. So now if you add these two numbers, it will be 0.54334546 into 10 raised to power 7. Okay, no problem. Now, if you have inputs here, you can see your inputs. If your inputs are, these are two inputs here. And if you see its mantissa, its significant digits, it is 4 significant digit in this number and in this number. So there is a rule actually, if your input has the numbers that contains 4 significant digits, suppose, then your output should also maintain that that manner, means should contain 4-digit number. So your output is this. Now your final answer will be like 5.5433 into 10 raised to power 7. There is not mention that you have to do rounding and chopping. I have to do rounding now. So it is 4. So I have to simply take 0.5433. So this is the addition of these two numbers. So now you can see if I am adding this number to this number, I'm getting the same number. So this is because of I am adding this number to very small number. So that's why I'm getting this type of error. You can see this is an error actually in error analysis. So this type of error also we can face when you subtract two nearly equal numbers also. Means that is because of loss of significance you will get. So like in another example, if I take subtract 0.5424, this is exponent is minus 99 here, from 0.5452 minus 99. So subtract these two, I will get, if I subtract these two, I will get 0.0028 into 10 raised to power minus 99. So now here you can see our inputs has contained 4 digits, significant digits, but our output contains 2 significant digits. So there is a loss of 2 significant digits. So now to maintain the same significant digit as our inputs has, so you have to take 0.28. You can type 0.28 00 because these are significant in the significant rules, into 10 raised to power minus 0.0101. So now it contains 4 digits. Actually, this is because you have lost the 2 significant digits because these are again 2 nearly equal numbers. In addition, when you face the loss of significance, then you add any bigger number to the smaller number, and in the subtraction, then you subtract 2 nearly equal numbers, then you face the loss of significance. So similarly in multiplication, so multiply 0. This E74 and 0.2. Actually, it is only 0.2, but if I want to write 4 digits only, so I will write 000 E50. So now multiply these two, it will be 0.02222 into 10 raised to power 154. So if I write this in the form of normal form, then I will write 22 into 10 raised to power 153. So it is okay because it contains 4 digits, so our output is also contains 4 digits. Actually, in the multiplication again, you will get the loss of significance when you again multiply one very smaller number and one very bigger number. So then again you will get the loss of significance. Yeah. So this is the loss of significance actually, but we don't want the loss of significance. So first of all, I will write the what is loss of significance here. So one of the most common error, actually this is an error in analysis. So we want to get rid of this loss of significance. Producing calculations which involves the cancellation of significant digits. So we have to cancel the significant digits actually due to subtractions of two nearly equal number. For example, if I take 10002.254 and another number is 1002224. So it contains 8 significant digits. Yes, 8 significant. It also contains 8 significant digits. So now if you subtract these two, because these are two nearly equal number. So if you subtract these two, it is 0.030. So now you are getting 2 significant digits only. So here you have lost 6 significant digits. So this is an error in analysis. Actually, loss of significance, we don't want the loss of significance. Because of the loss of significance, we cannot judge the error, how much error the two numbers has. Means we cannot compare the exact value and the approximate value by simply looking into the absolute error and the relative error. That you can show by next example, that how the loss of significance will be the major problem in the error analysis. So this is the example, that if x is equal to this number, y is again another number, actually these are two nearly equal number, then what is the relative error in the computation of x minus y by using five decimal digits of accuracy? Means what you have to do, you have to find the relative error in the calculation of x minus y. Means you have to take x minus y as a exact value, x minus y nikalna hai by taking these two values, and then you have to find the approximate value of this difference by taking 5 decimal digits of accuracy. Then you have to find the absolute and relative error. So find it, x. I give x as a x minus y. So it is simply as difference of these two. So it is 0.0001248,121. So this is the difference of these two numbers. So now this is the exact value, actually exact difference, you can say. Now I find the absolute approximate difference here. So FL of x means you have to take 5 decimal digits. 5 decimal digits means it is no, here you can say it is not mentioned you have to do chopping and rounding. So 5 decimal digits means you have to do rounding only, 37214. So 0.37215 because 7 is greater than 5. So FL of y will be 0.37202. So now write FL of x minus FL of y. So now it will be 0.00013, or you can write 0.13 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Okay. So now if I find this is our x star, means I can write this as approximate value, this is the exact difference, this is the approximate difference. So now if I find absolute error, can you find the absolute error? X minus x star. So what it is? It is x minus x star, means you have to subtract this number from this number. So what it is? It is 0.4 times 0, 2. So from the absolute error here you can see, if I simply looking into the absolute error, then you can see it is approximately 0. So it is 4 times 0, then it means it is a good approximation, I will say, because it is approximately equal to 0, then I will say it is a good approximation. But if I find the relative error in this case, if I find the relative error, then I will get 0.04. It is 4% error. So that I cannot ignore it. So from simply looking into the relative error, I cannot say it is a good approximation. It is 4% error in this, while difference of these two numbers. So so here because of the loss of significance, because here you can see if I have subtracted two nearly equal number here, and then I have subtracted two nearly equal number here also. So in both the calculation, you are getting the loss of significance of the digits, because x contains these significant digits, x star contains 2, and then you are getting only 1 significant digits. And here you can see x contains 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 significant digits. But in difference, you can see you are getting only 2 significant digits. So this is the major problem in the analysis, in error analysis, that how to get rid of loss of significance. So there is a one method actually how to get rid of this loss of significance. One is by using this technique, finite digit arithmetic. Actually this is not a technique to get rid of loss of significance here. We will use this term in any technique here. First we will define this, what is finite digit arithmetic. So finite digit arithmetic means if suppose I am doing the calculation x plus y, means if I am adding these two numbers, So what I have to do, I have to take, means these are two exact number, and then you have to find the approximation of this number, then approximation of this number, then in answer whatever you get, it suppose it is Z. Suppose it is Z, then in answer again you have to take FL of Z. Okay, so now similarly, if I take another expression, means Z, here I'm taking X plus Y into Z. So what I have to do, I have to take approximation of X, sorry, approximation of X, then approximation of Y, then approximation of Z. Now if I solve these two, FL of X plus, suppose I'm getting U here, then in this again I will do the approximation, means at each step you have to do the finite digit arithmetic. So FL of U. Okay, so again in the calculation you are getting, suppose V, again your final answer will be FL of V. Means if it is mentioned that you have to use 3-digit rounding, yeah, or 4-digit rounding arithmetic, you have to keep that 4-digit, means suppose it is 4-digit arithmetic, you have to keep 4-digit at each step only. Okay, so this is called finite digit arithmetic, or you can write n-digit arithmetic. Okay, so finite digit arithmetic means you have to keep that digit at each step. Okay, so now here I should say that it is a digit, not a decimal. So if it is 4-digit arithmetic, you have to keep 4 digits, not 4 decimal digits here. So you have to count the digit before decimal also. So that will completely 4-digit arithmetic. So this is the one term here that we will use in one technique. So now we will use that technique, that is nested algorithm, nested arithmetic, or you can say a nested algorithm. So in the nested algorithm, we can calculate, we can compute the polynomial function here. Suppose this is by giving one example, I can tell you that evaluate this function at x is equal to 4.71 using 3-digit arithmetic directly and with nesting. Actually, first of all, I will tell you what is nesting here. Suppose I have cubic polynomial ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Okay, so
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, we have next lecture in 2 minutes.
Okay. Then I will continue topic in next lecture only. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you please provide the recording of the last lecture?
Yeah, sure. So shall I send to your GR?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Srishtina, your GR is Srishtina?
Yes.
Okay. So for the exercise, you have to do these 2 questions. I will give you these 2 questions. This third question is based on nesting actually. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.